ESPN and the Professional Bowlers Association present the championship round finals of the Hammer Senior Open live from Woodside Lanes, located in Naples, Florida. And welcome everyone to Woodside, where we have already started match number 1. Gene Stuss and Tommy Evans. And Gene Stuss, Mike Durbin, has thrown 5 consecutive strikes to open up the opening match.
And he has an almost insurmountable 60-pin lead right now going into the 6th frame. Gives it a little bit too much room. And, well, that ends that string. It ends the possibility of 300. He gets a nice round of applause.
And we have seen him shoot 300 on ESPN before.
Yes, we know that he can string the strikes. After he makes this spare, we'll see a replay of the 5th strike that he had in a row. It looked like just about all the others that he had. I mean, he has a real nice shot on this pair of lanes 23 and 4 here at Woodside Lanes. As the spare, here's a look at that last 5th strike. Just right of the 3rd arrow. Ball going down the lane, making a nice sharp turn at the pocket. And all 10 in the pit. He's thrown a lot of them like that, Dan. He was throwing a lot of them like that in practice.
Stuss leads by 59 at this point in time. Special thanks to Charlie Steiner and Bob Lee for that outstanding extended Sports Center coverage of Michael Jordan's retirement. We're here in Naples, Florida. And Stuss, after the break, goes 2-pin, 2-pin.
Well, a little more speed. Tendency, coming out of a break or a little break in action like that is to slow up. He probably was thinking about that and wanted to get a little more speed. We see Gene's bio here, big man, 53 years of age, 4 senior titles, 225.
Perhaps one of the things we should touch on quickly, Mike, a different format for the seniors this week in terms of 2 9-game qualifying rounds, 3 rounds of match play. They actually bowled the 5th round of the tournament here this morning. The lanes have not been touched, so the lanes right now, condition-wise, are acting as if they are bowling the 2nd round of match play.
That's exactly right. And you would think that that's going to favor the hook ball bowler. Sure, he's playing out that way in this first match because Evans goes straighter. He's forced inside the 3rd arrow, and he just can't get a reaction to the pocket. Hasn't had a strike yet. Where Stuss has been studying getting a nice ball reaction.
Through the nose, another break this time for Tommy Evans, who leaves the 6th pin.
Here's a look at both Tommy Evans and Gene Stuss's game. We can see they're both 5-step players, and they both hold the ball up about a little above the waist. Evans starting the nice free swing. As he gets right to here, you can see the foot is flat on the floor, and here's the height of his backswing right up here. Now look at the difference with Gene Stuss. Gene, a bigger man. But as he gets to that next to last step right here, nice level backswing right here. He's really in a power position to come right through here. Let's watch them both finish. They both finish quite a ways from the line right here. See that elbow break a little bit here with Gene. He has that tendency to do that.
And another tendency, Mike, for Gene Stuss is to raise up perhaps a little early at the line. When he does that, he gets into problems.
He always still manages to bowl pretty well, though. And there's the first strike by Tommy Evans in the 8th frame.
Well, Tommy isn't smiling there, but he is after the strike. It has been a struggle. It's very difficult when the lanes open up to try and compete with a player of Stuss's ability to hook the ball.
Right, yeah.
Gene got a handful there, flips it out, comes storming back. Another strike on 24. He is comfortably ahead here in the opening match.
And if you watch that follow through, there was no break in the elbow. He stayed right behind that shot, turned it late, and got the great reaction.
That 5-bagger was nothing but pocket hits, too, folks. No cheap strikes in the first 5. Looks like he's back to being lined up on this pair of lanes.
I think so.
One of the outstanding players on the PBA Senior Tour. Could almost liken Gene Stuss to a player like Jim Dent on the PGA Senior Tour, a power player deluxe who has other skills to go along with the package.
Well, Gene is an interesting case. He's always a great bowler in the Detroit, Michigan area and everything, but just never came out on the national tour. Took that early retirement from General Motors, and ever since he's come out of here, he's been an impact player on the PBA Senior Tour.
As we mentioned, shot 300, won the championship that night, has 4 senior titles to his credit, but is yet to win here in 1993.
Well, he says maybe Naples will be the place. You're going to have to win 3 more games.
Tommy Evans, meanwhile, with 3 PBA regional titles and 1 PBA senior championship.
Tommy's a good player. He's a solid player. He's in the Florida Hall of Fame, right down here, not far from home here. A couple hours, and he managed to get a double. He's going to have to re-rack it on 23. He doesn't have a full set of pins there. They've already taken care of that.
And don't forget, Nebraska and Oklahoma State live at 8 o'clock, 5 o'clock Eastern time. Big game there. Cornhuskers with a nice bunch, ranked in the top 10.
They keep rolling along every year, don't they?
Aren't they always in the top 10?
Always. They have no trouble on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, but
trying to gain some respectability here in match number 1. And the 3-6-10 stands. He left that a little earlier in this match.
That's the 3rd time he's left it in this match. So it just, if he lays it a little bit short, doesn't get it out to where he wants it, it hooks quickly. And if he goes through it a little firm, it doesn't make it back. It's almost an impossible situation. He tried other places on the lane earlier in practice and didn't have much success there either.
And right now, it looks as if Tommy is almost trying to fit the bowling ball a little bit. And when you do that, Mike, you really lose all the roll and the fluidity of your game.
And what really happens then is that your hand release gets shaky too, because you don't come out of that nice clean release. The thumb's a little dragging, and it's just, it's all confidence.
See, that shot was much better. Ends up leaving the 10 pin. Ball came off his hand nicely there.
Pill ball, no pressure.
Sure.
We're all the same that way, Dan.
Yeah.
Those fill balls know, those pins know when it's the fill ball, I'll tell you what.
Tommy Evans finishes at 185. Gene Stuss already a winner in game number 1, so he gets to free roll it here in the later stages.
Oh, he's just trying to keep his stroke. You know, had a few taps the last part of this game. He's going to have to get back on track with John Denton, because John Denton was striking in the practice balls. He had a little rollout shot. The ball was rolling out right at the pocket, but he had a pretty nice reaction.
A threat to win every time he shoes it up on the PBA Senior Tour.
There's a number of players like that out here now.
And they're getting better. Dan Roach, player that bowled many years on the regular tour, a rookie bowling in his first senior event this week, finished 18th.
Yep, yeah, came out, was I think 3rd in the qualifying round. So he had a good tournament for the first one out. There's just a lot of quality players that just are itching to come out and bowl on this senior tour.
And not only former touring players, but a lot of outstanding regional professionals getting an opportunity to play against the best seniors in the world.
Boy, did he throw that one pretty.
Excellent shot by Gene Stuss, who moves into match number 2 here at Woodside Lanes in Naples, Florida, with a 237-185 victory over Tommy Evans.
Bud Light, please.
Tonight's ladies' night, and there's a special on Bud Light.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Oh, no, it's Ted from accounting.
Football fans, what's it mean to be extreme? Now, Sports Illustrated pushes it to the limit with an intense new video, NFL Extreme. It's football with an attitude. Your video's free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated. The best way to get into the action for more than 24 million readers every week.
That's the way to move it!
NFL Extreme takes you down on the field with the fastest and the fiercest. Find out what it's like to go over the middle and over the edge. Call now, and you'll also get your choice of an authentic NFL Pro Line hat, free with your paid subscription. Pick any one of the 28 team hats. It's your choice. Get your 2 free gifts, plus 54 issues of Sports Illustrated, including the swimsuit issue, for only $1.39 an issue. Save over 52% off the cover price. For quicker delivery, use your credit card. Nobody's into sports like Sports Illustrated. Get into it.
Catch the Shooting Stars Saturday, October 30th on pay-per-view. Undefeated Michael Carbajal puts his IBF and WBC light flyweight championship on the line against Domingo Sosa. Oscar De La Hoya continues his climb in the junior lightweight division. Plus, veteran Lupe Aquino squares off against Verno Phillips for the super welterweight crown. See it live on pay-per-view. Call your local cable operator.
The championship round finals of the Hammer Senior Open are being brought to you by Genie's Screw Drive Garage Door Openers, built for a lifetime. Welcome, everyone, to Woodside Lanes, located in Naples, Florida. A little different open for Michael and myself tonight. Not Jordan, of course, but Mr. Durbin. Let's talk about John Denton. He is the number 3 seed coming into this one tonight.
And John's making his first telecast on a senior show. He's going to be a little nervous, but he defeated 5 of the top 5 opponents. He defeated everyone else, so that ought to give him a little bit of confidence.
Denton looking for that first senior title. We move up the list to a player who loves to hook the ball as well. Powerful John Hricsina, who had a big game this week.
Well, he had a 300 in the position round. That's his 6th 300 on the PBA Tour since July. He's had 13 as a PBA senior member and 33 altogether.
Those are Durbin-like numbers.
Oh,
well, maybe not.
Eclipse Durbin numbers, yeah.
Let's move to our top seed. He told me point blank this is the finest tournament he has ever bowled, and he's already in the PBA and ABC Hall of Fame.
And we're talking about Gary Dickinson, who averaged 236 for the entire tournament, led the tournament by 395 pins. He dominated, but he has to win one more game tonight to get the title.
And of course, if he does, it's title number 2 on the season. Mike and I'll be back with the start of match number 2 right after we pause for these commercial messages.
This place. It's the new Burger King Everyday Value Menu. Your favorite Burger King foods at lower everyday prices, like the delicious Whopper Value Meal for only $2.99. The new Burger King Everyday Value Menu.
Have it your way.
Imagine a cold medication so effective, one tablet keeps symptoms from coming back a full 24 hours. Introducing Effidac 24, the first cold tablet for consistent 24-hour relief. Look, Sudafed drops off after 6 hours. Tavist after 12. So your symptoms keep coming back. But just one Effidac gives consistent relief for 24 hours. So your symptoms don't come back. New 24-hour Effidac keeps cold symptoms from coming back.
Wow.
Top-ranked boxing. Former Olympic champion, merciless Ray Mercer steps into the ring to battle Mark Big Chill Wills. Only one will walk out the winner. Top-ranked boxing, tonight at 9 Eastern, live on ESPN.
And this is the lane that we're bowling on right now. The oil is taken down this far at 37 feet. Right in this point, the oil is really heavy. It gets lighter right here, and that creates a very dry condition back here. The idea behind that is the ball skids right here, starts to go into a roll here, like so, and then finishes to the pocket like that. Worked pretty good for Gene Stuss in that first game, but not too well for Tommy Evans.
All right, now my question is, I want you to draw that back up and tell me where your ball used to go into a roll.
Well, it was past the pins.
Right. Down, and it rolled on the way back.
Yeah, so you got
Fine.
it. Only kid. Only kid.
Gene Stuss, the man with a hot hand, coming off a big first game. And John Denton looking to unseat him here as they move into game number 2. High through the pocket. 4-pin is left on lane 23. Players averaged as a group about 215 on this pair of lanes throughout the week.
Gene started with 5 in a row. Since then has not been able to get the combination or the magic back together yet.
To me, it looks like, Mike, that if he does not send the ball right initially, he doesn't get a great reaction. For some reason or other, I don't know if he's trying to tighten up the angle or whether it's just because of the pressure of the championship round.
Oh, I don't think so. I think he was perfectly relaxed, and we had a little break there waiting to come on the air and everything, and I think since then he just hasn't been able to get the combination back together since then.
A good old boy from Midland, Texas, which is where he's going to stay. John Denton told me, loves that area, has for many, many years. Battling a very sore knee, comes out and opens up with a strike.
And it's really interesting with John Denton. Holds that ball down because of the knee right in here. Now, he used to hold it up here. Now he's got it lower. He's a 5-step player. Pushes it. Kind of just holds it out there and walks by it. Now, as he gets right here, we see the backswing, much like Gene STus, right at shoulder high. He's right in time. See the arm out for balance. The slide. See, the only deficiency in his game, really, is that nice finish position there, is he doesn't have a whole lot of ball speed. So when the lanes get dry, a lot of times he has trouble.
He's had to move way in, probably further in than he's played all week long here on this pair of lanes.
But he's got a nice reaction. The ball is rolling right up to the pocket, just stopping at the 1-3 and hitting pretty good. Gene STus better get his act back together.
Denton leads by 10 to kick off the start of match number 2. See what I mean? Not as much arc on that shot.
Right. Yeah, he's tightened the lineup, probably not intentionally. You know, he wants to get it right. It's just not going out there. Watch the ball. See where it crosses at the arrows. About the 14th board right there. And he needs to get it out just a little bit wider. A little snap at the back end. And he's had 3 or 4 4-pins now.
If he gets to John Hricsina, it'll be interesting to see the difference in the arc point between those two players. Spare up for Stuss. Don't forget, as soon as we have completed the Hammer Open down here at Woodside, we'll be sending you live to Atlantic City, New Jersey for a 10-round heavyweight fight featuring Ray Mercer and also Mark Wills.
I haven't heard of Mark Wills, have you?
At 14-11, I think he's going to be in for all he can handle tonight against Mr. Mercer. 14-12, they're telling me now.
A little more room. Well, you got that spotted, Denny. As soon as he stays behind that ball, hand comes around and it goes a little right. He's got a great reaction.
No question. I mean, he's got unlimited. He's got the lane right now if he'll trust it just a little bit.
Denton's an experienced player. Watch Gene now. Look at that head. Now watch the hand come through. That late turn. Boy, you can see the heavy fingers. Now he's coming up after the ball's gone. After the ball's gone, so it doesn't affect it.
Denton in trying to play the oil line, carries the 5, and John Denton right now just scratching and clawing, trying to maintain pace against Stuss.
He's doing better than maintaining pace. Do you see the way that ball hit? Interesting. That ball deflected, but the 5-pin still tilted over. 180? Ooh. Well, I guess if he says so, I'll believe him.
He's got that heavy roll, though. That's why that 5-pin went out. Plus, the speed is slow.
Yeah, the speed is slow. But the ball is rolling out right at the pocket, too, Dan. So, I mean,
he's doing the same thing Amleto does. The only difference is there's about 5 miles an hour difference.
And 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 revs.
Another great shot, though. Denton with a very sore knee. Hanging tough right now in match number 2, giving Gene STus all he can handle.
Gene, in fact, better start striking right now, or this match is going to start slipping away from him.
See if he arcs it a little bit on lane 24.
Well, you remember he arced it a couple times and left 2 pins. That one he got more arc. And there's the result.
I mean, it's almost flush every shot if he executes.
Well, that's the way bowling should be.
I agree.
Don't you think?
Sure. And if you're strong enough to open up the lane, you should have the advantage.
He's not really opening up the lane. He's making good shots. I mean, that ball is crossing the 13th board. I mean, before it was close to that same target. It's not like he's arcing it out to 5 or 6 or something like that. Pretty good.
Trying to carry the light hit, skipped out, and the 7-pin stands.
A lot of those this week, Dan. Players are telling me that they left more 7-pins than they did 10-pins this week. Now watch the reaction here. The ball comes in light. Barely doesn't get. No, it does get the 5. The pins are dancing around, but that 7-pin, they somehow misses it. The 4-pin falls straight and doesn't hit the 7.
Head pin butted heads with the 4. Stuss with a spare. John Denton in a position to throw a couple more and start with the first 6.
Yeah. Interesting, the speed difference between these two players. Denton just, you know, a mile or 2 miles an hour slower than Stuss right at this point in time.
A little more room.
Boy, he's just getting a marvelous reaction.
All the way back, a beautiful strike, and I had a chance to talk to John just prior to the telecast and asked him about winning on the regular tour and what would it mean to win on the senior tour.
I've never really given it a lot of thought, especially the last couple of years, because I've had trouble with some physical problems. But anytime you can beat the best bowlers in the world, it's to be a thrill. You know, it's a thrill.
Laid back.
Now, the problem he's had with his knee is he had an operation on the patella tendon in his right knee. He got like a staph infection afterward, and the scar tissue is giving him a lot of pain. So what he has done is he finally makes an error and leaves the 2-8-10, because he has some electrodes taped to his knee and a little battery has wires coming up there. He's a bionic man, and he has these wires hooked into the batteries. We see the 2-8-10. The only way you have a chance to make this is you hit this solid here and hope that something bounces here and it goes across to get the 10. Anyway, the battery sends an impulse down into these electrodes and stimulates the scar tissue there and takes away some of the pain.
The other thing that was interesting when you analyzed him and asked him, John, when did you start with that deeper knee bend with the ball down low? He said, I started that when my knee really bothered me. And you said, well, does it not hurt when you put it in that position? He said, no, it hurts all the time, but at least it's consistent.
Yeah, right.
John Denton with some consistent bowling here in match number 2 leads over Gene Stuss by 17. We'll be back with more of match number 2 after this.
Just one more strike for a 300 gain.
For the inside track on your favorite bowlers, become part of the PBA fan club.
All fan club members receive the PBA media guide and pro programs along with your official membership card. Also, for a limited time only, this Million Ants Club poster is included.
So don't wait. Call today. Call 1-800-299-4PBA for your membership in the PBA fan club.
In Colorado, there's all kinds of ways to go down our mountains. Easy ways, been there. Hard ways. Crazy ways. Okay, recap. Ready? Easy. Hard. Hardly hard. Totally insane. But no matter how you go down our mountains, we've made it a lot easier to come on up. Just call for our free vacation kit with the Continental Discount Certificate. Done. Then take it easy. Or hard. Or, oh man.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Watching. The offensive firepower of Nebraska explodes against the rugged defense of Oklahoma State live tomorrow on ESPN.
Most experienced, successful players make a living at jumping on opportunities.
Yeah. Be interesting to watch these two frames. That's exactly what Gene needs to do. Has to hurry. It does. Big shot. Biggest shot of the match coming up right now, John. 17 down. Can cut it to 7. Can really apply pressure to Denton in his first TV match.
John Hricsina not even bothering to throw many practice shots. Gary Dickinson still off to the right, working on his game.
As we see John Denton, who asked me to say hello to his grandkids for him.
All right. Ooh, they got to be watching in Midland.
Yeah.
Double cuts the lead, and Stuss trips out the 4-pin.
Big break there. He left several of those 4-pins. Didn't give it the room he wanted to, but got the break. Somehow that happens for the better players, you know, in crucial situations.
Biggest shot of the week for Denton?
No, not yet. He needs to answer the call. The big shot will be if he gets a strike here and then to try and double up on the lane he left the split on. Right back there. Now the big shot's coming up because he can answer it. 7 pins is the difference. He can bump it right back to 17. See, he's on the side of that ball. See how far it's skidding? Now watch it. It's a reactive urethane ball, and that's what it's supposed to do. Skid that far and turn hard at the back end on that dry back end.
He's almost giving it that suitcase release to try and spin the ball a little more and delay the roll.
A little over the top a little bit, and exactly. But this is the shot right here. pretty smooth. Oh, can't be much smoother, can it?
He's a consistent player. That would be his middle name. And, of course, he set an all-time PBA record with 56 consecutive 200-plus games back in Sterling Heights a few years ago.
As he informed us today, that was a cutter shot.
Which is not what he's playing today.
No, he liked that shot. He likes the outside angle. Stuss needs to answer the call.
Came off his hand a little light, passed everything, and he leaves the bucket. Did you see how quickly he was up and out of that shot?
Yeah, and see, that didn't have the release. There it is, up quickly. Ball just keeps skidding. Now, it's taking a roll there, but way too late. Hard to see from that point. You know, it almost looked like a pretty good shot there, but he probably knew it as soon as he let it go, Deb, because you can feel it that you did not get the lift on your fingers that you wanted.
Speaking of a lift, that's what Bob Charles will hope for. He is the defending champion of the Trans-America from Silverado Country Club in Napa, California. Friday and Saturday coverage this week. How about Lee Trevino? 2 in a row.
Right now, Gene Stuss must strike here in the 9th frame to set up for a foundation for the tape.
Better shot.
Better.
See, it's just that instant. If he'll stay in the leverage position just that fraction of a second longer, he gets a handful almost every single time.
But the thing is that we're not machines. We're human, and the emotion and the pressure and the moment affect us. And it did with Gene. I mean, and it's only a split-second difference on that release.
It's a millisecond.
21 pins can really put this match away.
John Denton with room to shoot 265. Oh, he's got him dancing on the deck on the right-hand lane.
What a nice reaction. I'll tell you what. Sleeper, nobody even thought about it. I didn't think about Denton winning this tournament, you know, and here he comes.
So many ways to knock him down.
Yeah. To get the job done. You don't have to be a twister and super. He's just stroking that ball, getting it to finish late.
But he's playing the lane correctly for his game, Mike. A shiny ball, move in, get it into the oil line, soft speed.
Now he just needs to fill the frame here, and he's going to move on to face Hricsina.
Tugged that shot. Ooh, got away with one. 3-6-10.
Yeah, but he's still got to make this now. If he doesn't make this, Stuss can strike out and win the match if I'm adding the score correctly. Which I am. 3-6-10. Let's see. He's always been a good spare shooter. He's switching balls. You see that? He wanted to see how it was going to feel and come off his hand, so he took a little practice swing there. This is probably a polyester ball. It's going to go very, very straight.
Same kind of shot. And a beautiful conversion for John Denton.
Well, that's going to do it then. He just needs 4 pins, I think, to lock it up, or 3.
8 strikes, a 5-bagger, and a turkey. And open on the 2-8-10 sandwiched in between. And a possible 242 with a strike here. You're right, he was the underdog heading into this match. Great effort, great performance. John Denton with a victory in match number 2, and he'll move on to the semifinal game.
And Stuss bowled a nice match, but the 8th frame was the key there. He had to respond to what Denton did when Denton struck in the 7th and 8th, and he wasn't up to the challenge at that particular moment in time. See, that was the same area that he threw the lane in the 8th frame, but that one he got the release that he wanted and the fingers that he wanted. And the ball finished.
Do you think that the raising up a little at the line, Mike, is a timing thing? Do you think the feet get perhaps a little quicker when the heat is on?
Yeah, probably. Just like you
a
say,
fraction.
Just a fraction. But, I mean, Gene has proven that he can overcome that and he can respond well in pressure situations, as he did earlier this winter when he beat Steve Jaros for the extra $25,000. You know, he had a double in the 10th to win that, and he did that.
A jovial sort. One of the things you have to love about Gene Stuss, win or lose,
he's got a smile.
You better believe it. And he'll congratulate whoever beats him. A wonderful performer and a great gentleman. Loves the competition. All right, Gene Stuss will finish 4th. John Denton will move on. When we come back, our Mike Durbin will give us his impersonation of Marcel Marceau on this week's Average Builder.
savings during the Surefine Fall Sale and win tickets to the Joys of Christmas show at Sight and Sound Entertainment Center. This week, serve a delicious Surefine whole boneless ham, $1.99 a pound. Mix or match Surefine canned vegetables, 3 16-ounce cans for $1. Light and Lively yogurt, 3 6-ounce cups are just $1. The 8-quart size Country Time lemonade or iced tea mix is specially priced this week. And remember the Sight and Sound Christmas show tickets. Check your Surefine store for details.
When we first get in...
It's a crazy world. There's light this and light that. There's even light gasoline. That's right, light gas. Stuff that makes your engine knock and ping. 104 Plus Octane Boost turns light gas into raw power. 104 Plus knocks out knocks and pings, removes clogging engine deposits, and increases horsepower up to 30%. Turn your engine loose. Do some boost.
For high performance, off-road, or traditional replacement parts and accessories, visit Rules Automotive.
For this week's Average Builder, I thought I'd like to do something very, very simple, something very, very fundamental, but very, very helpful. This is something that can help me develop the balance of my approach. It can help me work on my arm swing, maybe my foot speed, maybe my knee bend, whatever I want to work on. And it's something that I can do really any place, anywhere, anytime, and for free. Well, what is this magic thing? Well, it's simply doing a pantomime of the approach without the bowling ball. Now, what do I mean by pantomime? I mean that I'm out here right now on the approach, and I'm going the wrong way from the lane, really, and I'm simply going to walk through the approach, just like this. I go 1, 2, 3, slide, just like this. Now, I've done that literally thousands of times in my bowling career. And what it does for me is it puts a mental picture of my approach into my mind. And maybe I want to work on my arm swing coming out here for balance. And it's hard to do when I've got the ball in hand. I can do it really easily without the ball. Maybe I want to work on my knee bend on the next to the last step as I go into the slide. Again, I can work on it then. The benefit for this is that when I go out to bowl competition, there's a translation factor. These things carry over and they get incorporated better into my approach when I'm bowling in competition. It can work the same way for you. It's really kind of like a few years ago where they had a competition of free throw shooters. One group actually practiced the free throws. The other group just did a mental picture of the free throw or the ball going into the hoop. And when they had a test result, the results were very, very similar. So my recommendation to you this week is try this pantomime. It really does work. We'll see you again next week from St. Petersburg, Florida, when we'll have another Average Builder.
When we come back, John Denton, John Hricsina for the rights to face our top seed this week, Gary Dickinson. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Corning presents an exciting debut, Pink Plus, a new insulation that's silky to the touch. The reason? Pink Plus is our famous pink fiberglass insulation wrapped in smooth pink poly, which also makes it extra easy to install. So get in touch with a premier insulation. For the Pink Plus dealer nearest you, call 1-800-GET-PINK.
This year during the World Series, Budweiser will bring you the game within the game. The Budweiser World Series Classic. To play, go to your favorite store, look for this sign, and pick up an official game card. Then catch the Budweiser Classic play during each game of the World Series. Each one's worth $100,000. Who knows? You could make the greatest play of the series.
Nice catch.
There's nothing like family. Family. There's nothing like you and me. Family. We're all family. Well, I can't wait to see my family. The lovely channel. There's nothing like family.
And now for something different.
New Domino's Thin Crust Pizza. A crispy, crunchy crust pizza. Now buy any thin crust pizza and get an order of Domino's Twisty Bread free.
Something for nothing when you call Domino's.
Don't miss the world's finest senior golfers display the classic style that made the game of golf what it is today. The Trans-America. Play begins Friday through Sunday live on ESPN.
Big crowd on hand tonight at Naples, Florida, at Woodside Lanes. For the Hammer Senior Open, John Hricsina. Stand left, fire right.
Yep. Chose to finish on the right lane because the right lane appears to be a little bit tighter for him.
Fans appear to be behind Mr. Hricsina, who shot 300 in the position round game earlier today.
Well, he's a defending champion here, so he defeated Rossetti last year. Jerry Rossetti. Or Jerry Brunetti, that's who it was. Brunetti, I'm sorry.
In the title match. John Denton's already killed one giant in Stuss.
Well, he just lost that ball and dropped it and was just dead left right away. He gets a break by only leaving the 10-pin.
Actually, it was a flush Brooklyn. He probably could have struck.
Yeah, but I mean, this ball just fell right off his head. He gets right to this point, he's in his slide, and just boom, gone right there. No direction with that ball at all.
He did utilize the practice pair during the commercial break, so he had some shots to throw.
I don't know. You know, he's a muscle player, Dan. I mean, he controls that swing and matches the swing to his feet all the way through. And the ball can feel different to you. That's a better release there. As he converts to spare, the ball can feel different all the time that way.
Had a chance to talk to John, and I mentioned he has had some physical problems, and he talked about those coming into tonight's event.
I had a little knee operation, and I'm trying to recover from that. And it looked pretty dim for a while until I ran across this little unit. It's called a TENS unit, and it puts electrical impulses in the area that's sore, and it allows me to bowl. It's great.
Don't let him fool you. He's still in some pain.
See, that one just came off his hand clean that time, so the free swing is always easier, but you got two guys here that both muscle the ball, and they're doing pretty well, so Dickinson has much freer swing than these two guys.
And by and large goes quite a bit straighter.
Quite a bit straighter.
John Hricsina trying to out-muscle and open up the lane, and I'd say he accomplished that feat on the right-hand lane. A blistering strike on 24.
Oh, what a shot he threw. Watch this ball. Waist high with the ball now. 4 steps. And steps and pushes, just controlling it all the way. Steady hit. Now watch how short the backswing is. There he is right there, and the ball coming through. Boy, he just muscled at it. It just turned the living daylights out of that ball. Flush. I mean, it's not really pretty, especially when you look at it in slow motion replay, but the ball sure is pretty.
Another strike on the left-hand lane. Hricsina obviously lined up with plenty of lane to utilize. He will be tough to handle.
Oh, very tough. I mean, Denton better just start striking right now and plan on keep doing it.
And don't look back.
Right. Hey, you know, it's got to be going through his mind, though. I dropped the ball in the lane last time. What's going to happen this time when I get to the point of release?
Tugged it. Won't stay in the oil, and the 3-pin is the result. As John's wife, Joanne, looks on, pleased with the result of the opening game, but obviously worried about match number 2 here.
Well, see, I really think that was caused by the first frame. I mean, because he didn't know how that ball was going to come off. I know that I have a question mark in my mind if I drop it or hang it. What's going to happen the next time?
All right, but he threw a good shot on the other lane.
Yeah, but at the 3-pin, no trouble.
Another spare, but spares may not be enough against John Hricsina here tonight. And don't forget, coming up Friday at 7:30. I know you're a big fight fan. Did you?
No, I didn't get to see it.
Do you have any comment on this? Well, you can watch it Friday on ESPN.
I'm looking forward to it. I tell you what, because for everything I read, Whitaker got robbed.
Chavez still undefeated, but not in Sweet Pea's eyes.
Yeah, right.
I'll be watching. That one went the distance, and Purnell beat him up.
That's what I read and heard it. Everybody said.
Denton trying to tickle the 10. It wiggled momentarily, but it'll stand on the left-hand lane.
Well, it's interesting. All the matches, the winner of each match so far has started right away as we see the ball hit right there. Watch the 6-pin just go off to the side here. It just slides off, and the 9-pin went behind it there. Both pins missed the 10-pin. It's known as the can opener 10.
Denton continues to spare and also continues to fall further behind. Well, Stuss started with 5, then Denton. Let's see if John Hricsina can do likewise.
He may have more than 5.
5-5. Out on the lane, another outstanding shot for John Hricsina, who is in control. I asked him, if you win tonight, you become the first 3-time winner this year. Are you thinking about Player of the Year at this point?
Well, I'm not looking at that right now. I want to bowl real good tonight on TV, and if that happens, I think I do have a nice shot at Bowler of the Year, but my main concern tonight is try to bowl good and win this tournament.
Well, what a shot he threw that last shot in. I mean, he trusted that so pretty. I mean, to tell you, 300 is a distinct possibility with this guy right now. We're only 5 frames into it.
Maybe the next trip around we can take a look at how he is utilizing the loft game to try and delay the roll of his shot.
Oh, he is just so strong. I don't know that I've ever seen a bowler stronger.
Jim Godwin?
Godwin was strong. This guy is, I think he's stronger. I really do.
I'd like to see those two arm wrestle.
Well, I arm wrestled Jim Godwin, but I wouldn't want any part of him sitting, I'll tell you what.
That was when you were young and foolish.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Now you're old and smart.
Well, whatever.
Okay. Smarter. John Denton has to feel like he's in the slaughterhouse right now.
Yeah, yes.
He had to be pleased the way he bowled in his opening match, and now it's time to...
I can't get a strike, hardly, huh?
Spare and throw a couple of strikes and head to St. Pete and think about winning next week.
Well, he's not done yet. I mean, he still has a potential score of 248 if he takes it out the sheet, which might make him lose by 50.
Last time John Hricsina was on, all he did was shoot 290.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, so what's that, 14 in a row now? Is that it?
And counting.
And counting. Pretty smooth release that time. And the 2-8. So.
And one of our good friends representing Faball Industries, the president, John Wonders. A whole bunch of those hammer reps down here. Earl Widman, of course, the chairman of the board. Dennis Baldwin here. Wes Pye, one of their reps. Company really has supported the senior tour and the ladies on ESPN. John Denton at the 2-8. Nice game for John, just running out of room. We'll be back with a conclusion after this.
Hershey Symphony. Not to toot our own horn, but Symphony bars are our creamiest, smoothest milk chocolate. The very symbols of distinctive taste. And not to harp on the subject, but smooth and creamy Symphony is also available with almonds and toffee chips. There'll never be another unfinished Hershey Symphony. Smooth, creamy. Sounds delicious, doesn't it?
All-Pro quarterback Dan Marino.
When the game is over and the pain starts, I want 2 things from my pain-relieving rub. Fast relief and no odor. So I use Sports Cream, a strong pain-relieving rub that doesn't make me smell like a medicine chest. I just massage in Sports Cream for fast, odor-free relief. Cream or lotion, Sports Cream sure gets my vote for most valuable pain reliever.
I know you're wondering. Yes, a strike in the 6th and the 7th for John Hricsina. He still has a perfect game. And John Denton is trying to get something started in the latter stages.
Strike in the 6th was just another classic shot. Watch the follow-through. Really quick, but watch the finish. Wow. Now he gets a little break here in the 7th. This lane's hooking more, remember. He really caught that and went a little left, goes high. Watch them all fall. The double pinnacles there, they all fall.
Mike, relax a little bit.
Why get into these things?
He's only got a 7-bag.
I know, but we both know
what the capabilities are, of course.
Especially finishing on that right lane.
Sure.
You know, the key shot, I mean, I've already given him the strike in the 8th frame. It's the 9th frame.
If he strikes on the left-hand lane on the 9th, a distinct possibility. We've already had 2 300 games on ESPN. Gene Stuss, Ron Winger. Maybe another one tonight.
Poor John. I mean, everything fell the first game and nothing falls the second game. That's bowling, isn't it? It's amazing.
A game effort by John Denton. He has run into a player who's done nothing but throw strikes. I wonder what Gary Dickinson's thinking about.
Get it out of your system now.
Yeah, shoot the 300 now. Not against me. There's always the big letdown after a perfect game. Didn't take Hricsina long to get up off the bench. A very quick player. And we're in the 8th frame.
Quick follow through.
Yeah. Well, you noticed that immediately.
He just wasn't as relaxed with that shot, Dan. I mean, for some reason. I would have thought that he would have made the really good shot on the right lane because it's a little tighter for him. It was similar, yeah. There's Susan. Well, she says, that's okay, John. Just watch how fast, you know, he's so strong, so that's what he resorts to. Watch how quick this follow-through comes through. Woo. And he just wasn't the same shot that he's been making all along.
Still has a possible 265. To answer your question, he struck on the left-hand lane. I wonder if he's moving left every shot on that lane.
Well, I wonder if he'll move left. Of course, he's almost out of room on the right lane, you know. And John with 9, 9, 9, 5 nines, 6 nines this game.
9-pin, no tap, he'd be right there.
He'd be right there. He'd be ahead, though.
Not what John's thinking right now. He wants an X. Looks like he made a little adjustment there, got inside. Ball didn't quite hit, and he's left with a soft 10 on lane 24.
Now, it's interesting. In the first game, the ball made that little extra turn, and he carried all of those hits. In this game, it's like it's just going to 6 inches longer and won't carry him.
Either the lanes are breaking down, or he just didn't throw the ball quite as well this game.
Could be maybe just some oil got into the pores of the ball, caused it to go a little further or something. I don't know.
Another spare for Mr. Consistent, John Denton, with a wry smile.
I tell you, I watched John out here years when on the national tour and watch him out here on the scene. I've never seen him get angry, ever. Ever.
It's just not in his makeup. He'll be back.
Uh-oh.
Oh, the dreaded Durbin on lane 23.
The DD.
First time we've seen it.
Yeah.
And how do you make the double D?
Well, you have to hit the 6-pin or the 3-pin on the right, but with enough finish on the ball to get the 9. And of course, John wants to make this. And you see, he has to come in behind here. The ball wants to hit in right in here and come through and get the 9-pin. The 6 gets the 10.
Staying with the strike ball for a little extra hit. Oh, throws
another way.
Where there's a will, there's a way. John Denton picks up the dreaded Durbin.
As he hits it on the outside. And more than one way to get it done.
Fortunate, to say the least.
Oh, okay. It just means he's going to bowl 180 instead of 170.
That's what he's thinking.
Even the fill ball, he says, okay.
That's thanks. I've had enough fun for one night. Nice round of applause, though, for John Denton with a beautiful effort against John Hricsina. 188 for Denton. And a big game. for Mr. Hricsina. When we come back, two players in the hunt for Player of the Year, John Hricsina and our top seed, Gary Dickinson. They will bowl for the Hammer Senior Open here in Naples.
To keep tabs on your engine, look here. To keep tabs on your budget, look here.
You always save money at Walmart.
Save every day on Pennzoil Performax Synthetic Motor Oil. It flows in the cold and keeps cool in the heat. So it protects to the max. And that keeps things right where they should be.
And because we're always working at Walmart to save you money,
you'll find our prices are right what they should be. Walmart. Always the low price. Always.
It was my first serious dinner at his family's.
So much food. This is Greg's favorite dish.
And my first serious heartburn. And I learned some things.
Oh, no, these are different. Tums has calcium.
Most antacids don't. Of all these, the only one that helps wipe out heartburn and gives you calcium you need every day is Tums.
Something my body needs anyway. I like that.
Calcium-rich Tums.
Your back works hard all day. You need Sealy Posturepedic support all night. Sealy's Sense and Respond support system has patented coils. Unlike other premium coils, Sealy's gives easily at first for comfort. Then, as weight increases, it responds with increasing support, correct support. And only Sealy Posturepedic has this steel span foundation with steel beams, not wood. Posturepedic support, only from Sealy.
All right, what is the best day of your life?
I'm 7 years old, and my dad takes me to Yankee Stadium, my first game. Sat there the whole game next to my dad. Taught me how to keep score. Make you hit one out. Good day. And I still have the program.
When I was about 18 and my dad and I couldn't communicate about anything at all, we could still talk about baseball. No, that was real.
Championship frame coming up, and let's start in game number 1 with Gene Stuss in the 8th.
Big shot for Gene. Of course, he was in command of this match all the way through. Really not a big shot. He had started with 5 in a row. Tommy Evans could never get anything going. Gene threw a lot of shots like this during the course of the night. His reaction? Well, not much of a reaction, but he had the match well in hand and won at 237 to 185 at that point in time.
On to game number 2, a new participant, John Denton, and this one came down to the 10th frame.
And Denton the underdog in this match, but he surprised everybody. Started with a string of strikes, but it came down that he had to make this spare in order to win the match. Switched balls, played it left of center, and covered it perfectly, Dan.
So for Denton, the spare and the fill, a game of 242, edging out Gene Stuss, and it was on to the semifinal where we almost had some fireworks. John Hricsina with a 7-bagger. This was the shot in the 8th.
And I had conceded this strike already. Shows you that you can't concede anything in the sport of bowling, because he just didn't make the quality shot he had been making. Snapped it too hard. The ball finished right through the heart of the pins. 6, 7, 10. Stopped that 300 effort in a hurry.
Hricsina with a power shot, couldn't coax the ball to hang in pocket right, and wins 252 to 188. When we come back, a player who has been Player of the Year, John Hricsina, and the guy on the right's thinking maybe he'd like to be Player of the Year in '93, a rookie this year on the Senior Tour.
Bud Light proudly presents George Strait. Communication is not crucial to our business. It is our business.
I have a pet peeve about people who don't return phone calls. So if you don't hear from me, you can rest assured I'm probably dead.
Century 21, rated best at selling homes.
I love
love this place. It's the new Burger King Everyday Value Menu. Your favorite Burger King foods at lower everyday prices, like the delicious Whopper Value Meal for only $2.99. The new Burger King Everyday Value Menu.
Have it your way.
Football fans, what's it mean to be extreme? Now, Sports Illustrated pushes it to the limit with an intense new video, NFL Extreme. It's football with an attitude. Your video's free with your paid subscription to Sports Illustrated. The best way to get into the action for more than 24 million readers every week.
That's the way to move it!
NFL Extreme takes you down on the field with the fastest and the fiercest. Find out what it's like to go over the middle and over the edge. Call now, and you'll also get your choice of an authentic NFL Pro Line hat, free with your paid subscription. Pick any one of the 28 team hats. It's your choice. Get your 2 free gifts, plus 54 issues of Sports Illustrated, including the swimsuit issue, for only $1.39 an issue. Save over 52% off the cover price. For quicker delivery, use your credit card. Nobody's into sports like Sports Illustrated. Get into it.
And don't forget, next week, Mike and I will be visiting Seminole Lanes in Seminole, Florida for the St. Petersburg Clearwater Senior Open, and all the action starts at 7:30 Eastern Time next Wednesday night on October 13th. And as soon as we're finished here tonight in Naples, Ray Mercer and Mark Wills will go at it in a 10-round heavyweight bout on Top Rank Boxing live from Herna's Hotel and Casino. A couple of heavyweights right now getting ready to get after each other here in Naples, Florida.
And Hricsina gets to finish on the right lane again, where he chose to finish the first game, although he struck every time on this left lane.
Lots of loft, lots of rev.
Lots of splits.
Wow, too many. That's a design. You don't like those.
He can get out of that ball clean, Dan. He got it out of the lane, but his thumb was late getting out of that ball.
During the commercial break, you mentioned that you feel that this might be a game that would determine Player of the Year honors.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Hricsina wins the match, he's going to be hard to catch because he'll have 3 victories. And I realize money is very, very important in this whole scenario of this thing, but still, 3 victories is a lot of victories. Gary would only have 1. So Gary, if he wants that shot at Player of the Year, has to win this match, I think.
Dickinson right now 2nd in money, 1st in match play appearances. And opens with a strike. He gained a lot of confidence, Mike, in the championship round with that great victory in Las Vegas.
He certainly did. Gary Dickinson, very smooth 5-step player, holds that ball up just underneath his chin. He's looked the same right now as he has since 1968. That left arm down. Here we are as the foot's getting flat on the floor. We see where the backswing is. The ball is going to come right through here in a nice arc, nice slide. He's always been on balance. He hops a little bit right there.
A little more loft, looking for the double, and can't coax the 10-pin to fall.
And the big difference between Gary Dickinson right there and John Hricsina, you know, Hricsina hits that half pocket, that power knocks it out. Gary, tall player, 6'4", former basketball player, where in Texas, where he grew up. He's not 56, though. He's only 50.
Right, and he also has a senior title, winning in Las Vegas. Spare ball, 10-pin disappears. Now Hricsina trying to get back on track on the right-hand lane, which has been the better of the 2 for him.
See that follow-through, Dan? When he comes out here to the right with that follow-through, boy.
That was the point I made about Gene Stuss. This pair of lanes right now is favoring a player that can go right and make a power-type shot.
But he's got to start it left and send it out there with heavy fingers. Now watch the follow-through. See that short backswing? Watch this follow-through. Shovels it there. But see how he kept that line on his shoulders right there. Needs to get back in the match with a double. 10 does. Now he knocked the 10-pin out where Gary left it.
You and I, of course, are talking about Hricsina and Dickinson, but how can we forget our leading money winner right now, John Hamdegaard, who is way up there in all categories as well. John did not cash this week and will not be bowling next week, I'm told.
No, I think he's bowling next week. He's not going to bowl Gary goes high, breaks up the split. He's not going to be bowling over in West Palm. He'll be in Ireland that week. Yeah.
Okay. Fortunate break for Gary Dickinson, who leaves just the 7th.
Again, though, I mean, he's got to strike in this match to win it. switches balls, cross lane at the 7-pin. And one of the great spare shooters on the tour makes it.
Speaking of the tour, he bowled almost full-time on the regular tour. I asked him the difference between bowling with the youngsters and with the more mature players.
Well, you know, I think out here it's a lot more relaxed. Money's not as high, of course, and the guys are more cooperative. They help each other. They work out with each other. In fact, I think overall some of the guys here may practice and bowl more than the kids on tour. I used to think David Ozio might put in more hours than anybody, but after being out here on the senior tour for a while and watching some of these guys, I think some of these guys practice more than they do.
9-pin stands. Good thing the 4-pin wasn't along with it.
Well, you know, it's just a fine line. He's a little high this time. He was a little light last time. He gets the break of the 2-pin kissing the 4. The 4 does fall into the 9, but doesn't hit it hard enough to knock it over. Spares aren't going to win this match. Spares aren't going to win it.
John Hricsina working on a double after a disastrous start to this title match.
Thinking so, John, he's liable to not stop striking, period. I mean, that open, and he just out the sheet.
A beautiful shot there, and it appears to me, Mike, that he's a little more relaxed in the championship round. I had a chance to talk to him about that.
Well, I think I'm getting more relaxed. I mean, it's just proves that, you know, the more you're doing it, the more relaxed you should be. So I'm not really nervous tonight. I'm just happy to be here tonight, really.
Big break on the left-hand lane. Oh, his wife loved that shot.
She sure did. I mean, she sat through a lot of losses. You know, what's his record in the championship round? 9-20. You know, and he's starting to turn it around now. Boy, this guy could win everything.
A victory here tonight gives him 3 wins in 93, and with some big tournaments left to go, he could really do some damage. Dickinson trying to climb back into the match with a beautiful shot on the right-hand lane.
Gary's got to respond right now, Dan. I mean, you know, he's falling further and further behind in this match. He hasn't had a double yet. He's got to show John Hricsina that he can strike on this pair and shoot a 220 or 230.
It's a mental game. And talking to Gary during the practice session, he said, Denny, they didn't touch the lanes. They're like they are in the night block. Hricsina and Stuss are going to have a huge advantage.
But he's got to ignore that and concentrate on his own game. Hard to do.
Needs a strike desperately. Gave it room. And just can't get the 7-pin to fall. Commissioner Mike Connor looking quickly up at the scoreboard, trying to find out if Gary Dickinson still has an outside shot in this match.
Outside is it's slipping away, Dan. It really is, because it's just the difference is the power in the night type of a night block thing, where Hricsina's power is a big advantage.
Getting back to the point I'm making, normally in a championship round, the lanes are oiled and they resemble the way they are in the morning blocks. So there's not as much area, there's not as much back end. So a straighter player like Gary Dickinson has an advantage, you would think, over a hook player like Hricsina.
Well, but right now,
this one's hooking back. Why?
Too much. Overreacted at that point. So there's still life. He leaves the 6-10, breaks up the split. John, who's a very good spare shooter too, uses the same ball to shoot all the spares. Now he trusted this one, but he got it maybe too much of a handful. He threw it wide and it just snapped. Overreacted.
The difference between the two. Right now, this guy is stalking Dickinson. He is as aggressive as I have ever seen him be right now.
It's confidence, Dan. I mean, it's just pure, unadulterated confidence. He just knows that he is, right now, he thinks he's the best player out here.
Cranker versus the stroker.
Well, right now, if somebody says something in the middle of his approach, and, ooh, did you see the look on his face there? Mm-hmm. John is a mild-mannered guy. I'd hate to have him angry at me. See if he can come back.
After the reset, lots of speed. Oh, Dan, do you have a shot on the left-hand lane?
See, that's proves his concentration level has gone to another level. I mean, because he just pushed that out of his mind, came right back, reset, and bingo. 19 pins. Dickinson still alive.
Struck the last time on this lane. Does likewise this trip.
Got to put them together, Dan.
If he does, it's a 9-pin match.
Pat Sanella and his wife, Lisa, host here. Pat owns several bowling centers in this area.
Lisa looks a little nervous, doesn't she?
Yeah, she was on camera.
Key shot here.
I think so, yeah. Gary looks at that ball and then focuses on the target. Then goes.
Left the soft 7. This one rolls up and just exploded the rack on 23.
And he says, hey, John, I'm still here. Watch this ball. I mean, it comes up light and gets the swisher there. His reaction, come on, you going to carry? All right.
A dance on the deck. Oh, look at this shot. Hricsina, that was out of bounds. He hooked that one right through the condos back onto the golf course.
Well, let's see. What he tried to do that time was throw it wider, and that was the wrong thing to do. I mean, this ball really gets out past the second arrow, and he doesn't have that much area. The 210 needs to make it, and Dickinson's ahead.
While he was sitting on the bench.
We were writing him off, and he is still he's ahead in this match, and we're going to the 9th frame.
And Dickinson's on the double.
Heading to the lane, he's hit twice in a row.
You're not kidding.
John, with 2 splits in this game, still has a potential score of 225. Needs to strike here in the 9th frame.
Hricsina tries with a comebacker and leaves the 7-pin, and all of a sudden, the Herna Express has derailed, and it happened on the right-hand lane.
Yep. Well, when he went high that time in the 6th frame, I think that was playing on his mind when he got up in the 8th.
Spare up, get Dickinson up off the bench, and I had a chance to chat with him further about this one tonight. Player of the Year honors.
Well, I'm looking forward tonight. I think right now the leader probably is John Hricsina or John Handegard, and John's got 2 titles, and Handegard's had a great year. So if I can win tonight, that'd put 2 titles for me and get me in close with the average and the money race.
As a matter of fact, if he does win, he'll go to 57,000, and he'll take over the lead because Handegard did not cash.
Well, he got a break there, Dan, right through the heart of the pins, left only the 610. 6 is a little off spot here. He's going to have to hit both pins with this ball in order to make the spare. If he does, it's a 3-pin match right through the heart we see here. And anytime you go through the heart and don't leave a split, you figure you came out of it pretty well. All right, we head to the 10th. 3 pins is the difference.
And he's in a position to post the score first. And in a championship game, that's where you'd always like to be.
In fact, it's 1 pin. I'm sorry, it is 1 pin.
Doesn't get much closer than that.
He needs 3 to lock him out. Big shot here. Big, big, big.
Brooklyn.
And he leaves the 9-10. He's handed it to him.
What a horrible break.
Yeah, but it wasn't a good shot either. I mean, he's got to make this 10. He has to make this. He's behind by a pin if he makes it. He just, tried to keep the speed up, and it just went left immediately. And it was a horrible break. He could have left the 6, 9, 10.
One of the most accurate players of all time. He's got a good shot at this.
He's got to be accurate here. Don't think so.
Tugged it. By a fraction, you wouldn't expect Gary Dickinson to open in the 10th, but that's what he did, and on a silver platter, perhaps victory number 3 in 93 for John Hricsina.
He still needs a mark, and he's opened the last time on this lane.
Not as much room.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Oh, no!
The 5-10. He's got to make. Well, wait a minute. What is the score here? He has to make it then. He's going to lose by a pin if he doesn't make it.
Both players throwing horrendous shots and leaving splits. Mike said if he makes it, he's a winner.
Oh, and Dickinson wins. My goodness gracious.
Just that close. 193, 192. And John Hricsina can only shake his head along with Gary Dickinson. A wild finish here. Two players falling down in the home stretch, but Gary Dickinson comes up with the victory in Naples, Florida. We'll be right back after this.
From Philadelphia, the West Coast, or the world, see Travel Visions in Mount Joy first. For free services on all your travel planning. Relax, get comfortable as experienced travel professionals guide you through your personalized itinerary. You'll find complete services for strictly business or total pleasure, group travel, or just the two of you. Don't just dream about your destination. Journey to faraway places with Travel Visions' unique video library. See how easy travel planning can be. Travel Visions, 1195 West Main Street, Mount Joy.
My Name is Alice is an irreverent, saucy, and fabulously entertaining strut through a collection of songs and sketches in praise of female wit and wisdom.
Welterweight Championship. Pernell Whitaker, Julio Cesar Chavez. Boxing's most controversial decision. You be the judge. You make the call. Don't miss Whitaker versus Chavez. Friday night on ESPN.
Don't miss the world's finest senior golfers display the classic style that made the game of golf what it is today. The Trans-America. Play begins Friday through Sunday live on ESPN.
The championship round finals of the Hammer Senior Open are being brought to you by Bud Light. If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light. And by the Century 21 system. When you want the best, discover the power of number one. A wild finish, Mr. Dickinson. You lucked out.
Very lucky. I figured I'd lost again. You know, it happened to me in Vegas. I got very lucky there to win the semifinal match, actually, and I both get the final championship. So I was very lucky.
Whew. Earl, you've got a beautiful trophy to present Gary Dickinson.
Congratulations, Gary. You've been both beautiful all week. I understand this is a benevolent fund towards you out here.
Thanks. I think so.
All right.
On behalf of Fab Bowl, the home of the Hammer, congratulations.
I'd like to thank Hammer for putting on the tournament. They've been a great host for years, so hopefully for many years to come.
All right. You also have a nice check coming as well here from our host proprietor.
Gary, congratulations. Here's a check for $12,000. You earned it this week.
Thank you, sir. It's been a beautiful week here at Naples. I'd just like to thank the host and everybody that has to do with the tournament.
Gary, you told me coming into this one that this might have been the finest tournament you've ever bowled in your career, and you capped it off tonight with a huge break. What about Player of the Year honors?
Well, it looks better now, but, you know, I had a great week, and I didn't bowl very well on TV today. They hooked a lot more than I expected, and I had a little problems, but it's been a fabulous week for me. Naples has been great to us all week. I hope we come back next year.
And we will. So long, everybody, from Naples, Florida. Next week, the PBA Senior Tour heads up to Seminole Lanes, located in Seminole, Florida, for the championship round finals of the St. Petersburg Clearwater Senior Open, beginning at 7:30 Eastern Time, Wednesday, October 13th, live on ESPN.